What is up, fellow champions of Azeroth? This is the Chig coming at you with another World of Warcraft Season of Discovery leveling guide. Today we're going to be talking about the Mage. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about single target leveling and AoE leveling. Everybody knows that you are the AoE king when you are a Mage, so we'll be talking about that a little bit. We will also talk about wand progression and stuff, so you kind of know where you need to go that way. Before we get into it, there you go. And hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the bell notification icon so you get notified every time we come out with a new video. I got asked to make a Patreon, so I did that. I'll leave a link below. Super low entry, and we're just going to hang out in Discord. And I am open to suggestions for perks for being a patron. I'm just going to use the stuff. If anybody does decide they want to be a patron, I will use that just to improve stuff for the channel, get a better webcam and stuff. So, all right, let's hop right into it. So we got Magi over here. Remember I talked about her with you guys a little bit the other day. So let's go right into talents. So I am a firm believer in do what you want. However, I think that Frost is going to be the best for starting. I think it's probably going to be the best for grinding. It's going to be the best for maybe not dungeons, but it's going to be the best for out like out in the world and stuff. It's also going to be the best for world PvP and all that. So let's talk about it. So if you are going to be doing the single target route where you're just going to frostbolt them down, maybe use some other skills, maybe use your runes to get them down quickly, drink frostbolt, that kind of thing, up until you do get to where you are going to be AoE grinding. That's where we're going to start. So first thing is go ahead and just put 5 points in improved frostbolt. Getting your cast time down on your single target ability is probably going to be the most beneficial thing you can do. So that's going to help you out. What I would suggest in this second part, if you are going to be doing single target only, go ahead and get points into increasing your critical strike damage bonus of your frost spells and getting improved frost nova. You can also get frostbite if you want, but if you're ever going to use blizzard for kiting at all, do not get frostbite because you'll be freezing enemies. It's going to break up your clump and it's just going to be bad. Also, once you switch over to primarily doing AoE grinding, if that is your plan, you can just remove the points from ice shards and put them in elemental precision because your blizzard ticks can't crit. So that's something else you can do there. So here, what you would do, you can basically do whatever you want for the most part, but you need at least, if you're going to be AoE grinding, at least 1 point in improved blizzard. I would recommend no less than 2 because you get the 50% slow. You can go up to 65% if you want, whatever works. 100% grab cold snap because cold snap's always going to be useful. It's always going to keep you it's always going to give you a second use of all of your frost abilities, and we're going to talk about some when we get to the runes. And then you can also just throw 3 points in piercing ice. That would be your extra points, right? That's all 16 points. If you are not going to be doing AoE grinding at all, and you know that, you can remove your points from improved blizzard. You can, I would still keep the piercing ice. I would still keep most of these the same, but you could take points out of elemental precision, pick up frostbite. You could pick up some ice shards, right? And then once you do that, you can put 1 point into shatter. So it's going to give you increased critical strike chance against frozen targets. And then you're going to be able to get fingers of frost and stuff from your runes. So you're going to have a lot of targets being treated as though they're frozen. So it's going to be good for that. There's also a way you can switch this around and kind of do both, right? So if you would like to do that, you can just take out your points here, take the points out of frostbite, keep the points in improved frost nova. You can make sure you put the points into elemental precision, make sure you get a point in cold snap, get your improved blizzard points. You can always get permafrost. Permafrost is good. It increases your slow duration, so it makes it a little easier to kite while you're learning what you're doing. And then, or you can just put all 3 into piercing ice. Basically, you put those wherever you want, right? The big thing is frostbite and ice shards when you're AoE grinding are literally just useless because you're never going to crit because you're not going to be using your frostbolt spell for much at all, right? So that's kind of where you're at with that. So let's move on to the runes, talk about those for a little bit. So let's start with the chest. So all of these are good. Fingers of Frost ability, if you're going for single target, you can go ahead and grab Fingers of Frost. If you're not going to be PvPing a lot, or you're not going to be doing a single target build, I probably would not get Fingers of Frost. What I would do is get Burnout. Not Burnout, I'm sorry, Enlightenment, to keep up your mana regeneration. Burnout's not going to help you because you're not going to crit, but your mana regeneration, you deal 10% more damage when you have more than 70% mana, which at the beginning of the pull, you're going to have more than 70% mana. And then while below 30% mana, 10% of your mana regeneration continues while casting. So you're going to be able to, when you're lower and you're needing to kite more, you can use your rank 1 Cone of Colds, you can use your rank 1 Blizzards to get your slow, you can use your rank 1 Frost Novas to break distance, you can blink, and like, you can let your mana regen a little bit and then be able to set back up, and it's going to make it a little smoother for AoE grinding. If you are doing single target, however, you do want to get Fingers of Frost because it's going to make it a lot easier to crit down and burst down the mobs as you're rolling through, right? Regeneration, unless you're healing, is not going to help you out at all. And then the Burnout ability, you can use this if you are going the single target build because it's still just giving you base crit chance. But if you're not going the single target build, I would not even consider Burnout at all. So I'm going to be living with Enlightenment. And then here in the gloves room, I think if you are going to be going the single target route, you would pick up Ice Lance. Deals damage to an enemy target, causes triplet damage against frozen targets, counts as frozen if they have Fingers Frost. Obvious synergy is going to be amazing. If you Frost Nova them, obvious synergy is going to be amazing. However, if you're going to be doing the AoE grinding thing, I think Living Bomb is going to be the way to go. Target becomes a living bomb, dealing fire damage over 12 seconds, and after 12 seconds, or when the spell is dispelled, target explodes, dealing fire damage to all enemies within 10 yards. So, as you're pulling, put this on a couple of the mobs as you're as you're getting them grouped up and stuff, and then you start blizzarding. You reposition. While you're repositioning, you're going to refresh some living bombs. It's just going to greatly increase your kill speed. Your unaliving speed, I'm sorry. It's going to greatly increase your unaliving speed for AoE grinding, and it's really going to be good because you're going to have them tightly clumped when you're AoE grinding, right? So this is going to be really good for gold farming. It's going to be really good for AoE grinding to level. It's just going to be really good in general. So I think you should go for some Living Bomb, and I think that's going to be kind of a fun synergy. And then you go with your legs over here. So you got a couple of options. Arcane Surge, unless you're going single target. If you're going single target, Arcane Surge is going to be incredible. Because especially with the Enlightenment rune, unleash all of your remaining mana in a surge of energy, focus on the target, dealing increased arcane damage up to 300% based on your mana remaining. Afterwards, your normal mana regeneration is activated and increased by 300% for 8 seconds. So once you learn what your like dump rate is and like how much damage your percent of your mana is going to be doing, like you're going to be able to be like, all right, cool, this mob's at 40%, bang, done. This mob's at this, bang, done. This mob's at this, bang, done. And then like as you're moving on, your mana regeneration is going to keep going, right? So it's going to be keeping you rolling. The two that I recommend the most, however, are going to be Icy Veins. So hastens your spellcasting speed by 20%, and the suffers pushback from damaging attacks by 100% for 20 seconds. So this is going to be incredible. It's going to be really good for channeling your blizzards. It's going to be really good if you're PvPing at all. It's just going to be really good in general. It's going to be a really solid utility spell for you in some situations. It's going to be a really solid DPS cooldown. However, I also think, depending on what the cast time of the Living Flame ability is, I don't know what the cast time is. Summon a Spellfire Flame that moves towards a target, leaving a trail of Spellfire. This trail deals damage to nearby enemies. Okay, so let's see if we can find that. If the cast time is non-existent. All right, so it's instant and it's a cooldown, right? Okay, so with Living Flame, I think that's going to be incredible for AoE grinding. So as you're moving, throw up a Living Bomb on the guy in the front, throw your Living Flame on the guy in the back. It's going to be awesome, right? Because they all have to walk through it to get to you. Or you can just double bop it on the guy in the front. Everybody coming towards you has to walk through the ground effect that you've left, right? So this is going to be even further increasing your DPS and your kill speed on a live speed while you're AoE grinding. I think this is going to be incredible for that. I think this is going to be incredible for AoEing in dungeons. I think the best AoE spec in dungeons is going to be some amalgamation of some fire runes, including Living Bomb in this one, and a Blizzard spec that's improved Blizzard, just doing more DPS. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So if you're going to AoE grind, I suggest grabbing Living Flame. If you are going to do the single target route, I suggest grabbing Icy Veins. I don't think you could go wrong with either one in either situation. However, Icy Veins is going to be really good. Let's see what the cooldown on Icy Veins is. So Icy Veins cooldown's 3 minutes. So you're going to have it up for 20 seconds every 3 minutes. That's not bad. But that being said, I do believe if you're going to AoE grind, Living Flame is going to be where you want to be. So this is what I think as far as talents and as far as what I would be doing. If I do make a mage, I'll probably be doing the single target route with a couple of points in improved Blizzard, and leaving the points out of Frostbite. The reason being, I'm going to be playing on a PvP realm. So if I'm playing on a PvP realm and I'm trying to AoE grind and somebody tries to gank me, well, then I have to control these mobs while I'm trying to control this player, and it's just going to be a whole mess. So that's kind of my 2 pennies on how you should play that. So last thing I want to cover real quick. I just talked about this in my Warlock video. So it is really important as a mage to get a good wand. Your wand is going to be a lot of your DPS as you're leveling. It's going to help you conserve mana. It's going to make a lot of things a lot better for you, right? So what I suggest is obviously just hopping on here and following this. The first couple of wands, you guys already know you can get them from enchanters. It's a lot easier to get them than you think it's going to be. There's going to be a lot of people going enchanting. There's going to be a lot of people around. I can just about guarantee it's your first city, and by city I mean your first town with a mailbox. You are going to be able to find somebody that will sell you a wand for a reasonable amount of gold, silvers. It's going to be a couple silver pieces, right? But I do believe that that's going to be something that's going to be happening right away, because they're going to hit level 5. They're going to run to Orgrimmar. They're going to grab the materials. They're going to go ahead and start popping them together. And that's what they're going to do to make a little bit of gold. They're going to take advantage of it. And there's going to be those players that's what they want to do. So obviously just grab the wands as you can. One I really want to point out, obviously just do the ones you can get as you're leveling up. Make sure as you're getting your gear, in your other slots, if you're going Frost, you want to get some gear of Frozen Wrath, and you want to get some gear of the Eagle, because you do want some stam and int, but you also do want some damage. If you're going Fire, same thing, but of Fiery Wrath. If you're going Arcane, same thing, but of Arcane Wrath. Obviously, take what I say as a grain of salt. If you want to level as one of the other specs, by all means, level as one of the other specs. Do what's fun. We're about having fun on this channel, not what's the best. I will, however, say, once you are ready to start getting ready for the raid, once you are ready to start getting really pumped up for PvP, once you're ready to start getting your gear, get a group, go to 1K Needles, and go do the Leap of Faith quest line. The reason being is every melee wants the main hand weapon you get from there. Every caster wants the wand. The wand is the most DPS, like it's got 32.9 DPS. This thing is incredible just by itself. I do believe that Warlocks and Shadow Priest are literally just going to have the hugest advantage of throw up dots and wand, and then they're just going to top DPS meters. And the reason being is because things like this and the way that wands scale in the grand scheme of things. So I think it's going to be really cool to see how that works out. Other than that, that's about all I got for you for the Mage. If you have any comments, concerns, all that, don't even worry about it. Just leave it down in the comments. Let me know what you're thinking, what you're going to be doing. Go ahead and come over and hang out with us. We're going to be playing on the East Coast PvP server. We're going to start a guild right away. You guys can come hang out in the Discord. We're going to be playing and having fun. It's going to be great. Looking forward to getting some more signatures. Looking forward to getting a community started. I think it's going to be incredible. Looking forward to playing a lot of you guys that have been commenting on my videos that really want to experience this for what it is, rather than using it as an excuse to flame people, right? Season of discovery, guys. Don't worry about what's meta. Just put stuff together and have fun, right? Obviously, there's always going to be things that work better than others, but stick to it. Stick to what you want to do. If you guys seen my plans on what I want to do, they're not meta. at all. I'm gonna be playing some weird backstab, subtlety, mutilate nonsense, and it's gonna be crazy. Anyway, looking forward to hanging out with you guys tomorrow. Super excited. We're gonna be streaming as soon as it goes live, so make sure you're hanging out. Make sure you're there. Start with us over in Elven Forest. We're gonna be going to Alliance for starters. So we'll be getting a guild charter started right away. We'll try to get some people coming. We'll try to get a community as soon as we can. So I'll see you guys over there. Big hype, man. Big hype.